Good guys, my name is Lord Tomo. Welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collective review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo. We have the good old blue tier Sonic the Hedgehog throwing it away because I really want to get into this review, because when I got it this morning, okay, now just a little brief history about myself here. For those who may or may not know, I initially was neglectful in terms of collecting Sonic plushes. I didn't think personally I enjoyed them, but a great company such as Great Eastern Entertainment came out of the way and said, you know what, we're going to make some top-notch Sonic the Hedgehog plushies amongst other things. And boy, do they deliver. I was actually going to hold off until the weekend to review this, but when I actually took it out and actually had a better look at myself, I was completely flabbergasted in terms of the quality and just the uniqueness and the attention to details. That is the crucial thing that I need you to understand when I start reviewing this, and just to appreciate the level of details, the level of attention to details that Great Eastern Entertainment has gone out of their way to manufacture their plushies. But more specifically, I say the Sonic line because I only collect the Sonic line, is absolutely phenomenal. With the exception of maybe one, which isn't bad, it's just looks a bit off. But I purchased this is for those who may not know, Wave the Swallow. There's also a Jet the Hawk. If you want to check out the review, it's on my channel. And also in the other bag, which I'm not going to review in this one, is Storm the Albatross. Oh my god, I'm in love with them. This one just absolutely sold me. Enough chitter chat. For those who may not know, the company that actually made this is Great Eastern Entertainment. Phenomenal manufacturer, absolutely phenomenal for two reasons. Attention to details and quality, but more importantly, they make actual Sonic characters or characters within the Sonic universe actually in plush forms, and you don't actually see that in mainstream manufacturing and whatnot. So that's always a great plus. So if you guys hear this review, awesome work on that. So as with most of my reviews, I'm going to go through the ins and outs of everything, what I like, what I dislike, bits and pieces. I'm going to say straight out of the bat, there is practically nothing that I don't like about this, except one thing, which is more of a nitpick than anything else, but I'll get into it when I get to it. So yeah, this is Wave the Swallow. Now, for those who may not know, the first appearance was Sonic Riders. They also made an appearance in Sonic Riders 2, and of course they made other bits and pieces of cameos in various other Sonic games, more notably in the Sonic Olympic games and whatnot. They're not necessarily bad, they're not necessarily popular, but for myself that wants diversity in terms of plushes and actual collectible items, definitely a welcome and a plus. Enough about that. Where do I start? So you can't really see it as well on my cam, but she's a predominantly purple-esque bird with light purple-esque elements onto it, as you can already see in the arms. Overall, the design is superb, and I will get to them. You have the eyes, which is absolutely awesome, gorgeous beyond recognition. And the only major concern, if at all, is if you're going to play around with it, just be careful with the eyes and just bits and pieces of the arms, and I'll explain to them when I get to them, because they're kind of iron pressed on, so they're not actually stitched on. Now, it has a positive and a negative to it. The positive, of course, it gives you these vibrant, well-detailed eyes and details to the overall plush that you won't necessarily be able to necessarily get with sewing on. The negative, of course, if you wash this a lot or you do a lot of messing around with it, I'm going to assume that over time they will break down, and you might end up getting an eyeless bird or an eyeless plush. I feel that it's one of those, based on the materials, these actual eyes, I feel that the materials themselves is very sturdy to the point where it's going to last a long while, but of course overuse, it may go over time. So that is that. So the eyes are very symmetrical on both sides, absolutely superb, great attention to detail, very anime-esque, and very pays respect to the actual source material that is the game and any official art. Next thing, you have the actual beak. And now, for those who aren't attentive to details, I like to think I am. Her nose is meant to be arced in that form, and the fact that they actually pulled it off instead of just having a triangle snout beak, I call it snout beak, but triangle beak is absolutely phenomenal. And once again, just the superb level of attention to details, I cannot emphasize that a lot. So the actual curvature that it's happening there, awesome, phenomenal. And of course you have the lines of stitching, which is, it's a plush. If you get, the more detail you get, the more stitching you're going to get, which is actually great. The minute It's not a criticism, it's just I would have liked. I would have liked maybe like a smirk on somewhere, you know, something of that nature. It doesn't detract or remove or diminish the face in any conceivable way. I just would like to have a smirk. I don't know why. It's just, that's just me, because I'm pretty sure, if I can recollect, Jack the Hawk had it. I'm pretty sure. If I'm not, I'm probably gonna have to check. But yeah, because it kind of gives it more of a life-esque sort of feel to it. Like I said, it doesn't remove or diminish anything about this plush. It's just a preference. The overall head itself is extremely well plush, which is always an A grade plus. And of course, you can see her goggles on either side. They're very symmetrical. Once again, level of attention to detail. They could have just made that into a simple triangle, but no, they've added levels of curvature, which is a bonus point. Oh, absolutely phenomenal. And they just didn't even do it from one side, they did it to the absolutely other side. So absolutely phenomenal. I totally dig that. I totally love that. It's just great attention to details. And of course, you have her two goggle things which you can put on the eyes. They're held, from what I could feel, I think it's kind of like a hard plastic or hard cardboard. So it's not just the material and stuffing. It has no stuffing other than probably like a hard-esque material. Maybe it's like a plastic. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe. Yeah, it's very hard. It gives you the formation, and I have absolutely no issue there whatsoever. And of course, you have the little pivot point, which gives it binoculars. Of course, being that it's connected to the head, you can't actually push it down. This isn't a toy; it is a plush. So if that's a general nitpick that you guys have, I don't think it's a justifiable one. That being said, I can see the what's the word? I can see the desire to have that, you know, just moving it down and whatnot. But it is what it is, and it's phenomenal in terms of where it is. And of course, as the staple that is GE Entertainment or Greatest Entertainment, they have a little string where if you want to hang it up, you can. Absolutely phenomenal feature, simply because some plushes, they can't hold their own weight standing up with squishy little legs. And I'm going to tell you about this one. This one's absolutely great. But yeah, if you want to hang it up, you can, but it's just an option. Now, moving around, this is, like I said, it's one of those stupid things in my eyes where you're like, well, it's just a plush, you know, Tomo, it's why are you talking too much about it? Because it's the level of craftsmanship that goes into this that makes it, just blows me away. Now, as you have the back, she has, of course, like a head bandana, and they actually go out of the way to add like extra material to give that bandana-esque feel. And of course, you have the little I don't know, knot section at the bottom. And I do believe, I think, I'm not 100% sure, it's an actual knot which is stitched onto the back of the head. The actual the actual bandana cannot be removed unless you remove the stitching, but it's part of the actual sculpture. So if you remove that, I'm sure you're going to receive the brains and the head of the actual plush itself. So we don't want to see the head of Wade just yet be blown off unless you're into that sort of stuff, whatnot. But like I said, attention to details. Most plushes, when you see them, you're always going to see them at the front. So the fact that they've gone out of the way to actually do the thing at the back is absolutely phenomenal. Next thing you know, as awesome as where the character is, one of my major concerns is how they're going to do like the feathering of the top of the head, which is the back kind of thing. As you can see, phenomenal. They go all the way down to her knee joints on either side. Phenomenal digital detail. They didn't have to do it, but they did it, and it's just basically 2 levels of stitching, as you can tell, which is on either side. And both of them are extremely well stuffed, so they have this plumpness effect them. So you're not going to have that deterioration or that issue where certain pivot points basically are loose and it looks all wonky and whatnot. This one's extremely well stuffed and it looks phenomenal from the back. And of course, you have a towel. Now the towel has the same somewhat filling or thickness or fatness, I don't know what you really want to call it, but the same filling as the actual goggles themselves, kind of like a hard plastic or hard cardboard. I'm leaning towards hard plastic because if you have cardboard and you wash it, it's obviously gonna, you know, really screw this up. So I'm guessing it's either, I don't think it's a hard wire, but look, it could be a hard plastic or like a thick wire. I'm not 100% sure. From what I can feel, it looks like a hard plastic. What's the material esque from here? Nothing that I can see or determine. But yeah, so that's that. And you know what? It doesn't need to be thick. Her tail has always been I wouldn't say flimsy, but this thin and this level of thickness. It's to say the least. So that's absolutely superb. Now you flip it around, and of course you have her pendant. Now her pendant isn't like a real pendant of any sort. It's just literally a material, like kind of like a plastic-esque little thing with the design on, and of course you have like a string which goes inside her neck, which is meant to give the necklace. Now it doesn't go all the way through. I'm not bothered by it, to be honest. If they did it, wow, but they didn't need to, and it does its job. Of course you have a bra piece which goes all the way around, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now I'm going to tell you just another level of attention to detail, something that just blew me away when I first saw it. Now if you look more closely to her top piece, I'll show you this part. They added an extra layer of detail which gives it more of a spike-esque sort of feel, which of course pays respect to the actual source material, and that's on both sides. Like I said, absolutely not needed, but the fact that they did it just shows you the level of respect they have for these characters that they're creating. So there's that side and the other side. Phenomenal, great, I cannot complain. Next we have the arms. Now the arms are predominantly the main color as the actual head itself, no complaints there. And of course you kind of have a flaming-esque effect coming out of her her glove, which is a different color, and of course this is the same material or same effect that they use for the eyes, kind of like our iron pressed on material. Not bad, they're exactly the same on either side, and of course you have a glove which is pretty much just the material plastered onto it. Now the hands are exactly the same on either side, so that's great. So it's not like a Vector the crocodile, but then again that's a different mold. And of course the fingers, if you can tell, they're stitched pretty much just to give the finger effect, which is common with most plushes. Absolutely great. Now, one of the major concerns with most plushes, of course, you have like pivot points which are flimsy. This one's extremely well stuffed on either side, in my plush anyway, so it doesn't give that flimsy effect, and you know what, that's absolutely phenomenal. As you can already tell, I'm praising this beyond anything. I truly do believe this is one of the most perfect plushes that they ever created amongst the other ones. This is one of the best ones. Of course you have a pants which is very kind of like retro 90s sort of feel, and you have, like I said, another attention to detail. You have kind of like these like daggy pants effect going on either side. Phenomenal, great, and it gives like a daggy effect, and they have like, of course, the purple flames. Absolutely not needed, and if you push it up, of course you're going to see a white shoe. Look, you don't necessarily need to concern yourself with that. It is what it is, but the fact that they even did it was absolutely great. Now, that's on either side. Next, of course, you have the shoes. Great attention to detail. Now this is something that just threw me off. With this plush, it has enough weight and stuffing on the legs to actually hold its own weight, which I thought is absolutely great. Of course, if you want to sit it down, you can. And voila, look at that. They even put that. They didn't need to add these. They didn't need to add this, but the fact that they did is absolutely phenomenal. Just a superb level of attention to detail. So if you can stand it, you can see everything. If you want to have it on the back, look, it's still there. But if you want to have it sitting down, there you go. You have a shoes designed perfectly well and is catered for that. Absolutely phenomenal. Everything on this plush itself, I cannot fault in any conceivable way. But of course, with every pro, there is a slight irritation that I always have to bring up because it's me, and I'm that kind of guy. Bonus points that they put the actual hashtag in a place where it doesn't remove the attention of the actual plush itself. Great for that. But they put, of course, a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it says Sonic the Hedgehog Plus. Of course, I guess it's meant to fall for more of the parents who don't know who this character is and just want to purchase this. Say, hey, look, this is Sonic the Hedgehog character. My son or daughter will like it. Now, for those who are paying close attention, this image is different to every other one. This has a close-up of Sonic the Hedgehog's face opposed to the other one, which is more of a head-based Sonic the Hedgehog. Not bad. And of course, if you flip it around, let's see, it says Great Eastern Entertainment at the very top, which phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, other than that, I would have preferred they had a picture of Wave the Swallow. No issue, it is what it is. Phenomenal. What do I rate this? Straight up 10 out of 10 stars in superb rarity. 1 star out of 10. You can definitely find this online. I highly recommend you go out of your way to buy this, simply because it adds diversity to your actual overall collection. It does for mine, and I'm sure it does for yours. Is it pricey? I think it cost me about $15. It really depends on you if that's the sort of money you're willing to spend. I'm willing to spend it because it's so great. Look at it. Oh, I forgot to add as well, unlike, for example, Amy Rose or modern Amy Rose and Blaze the Cat, the proportion of the legs to the body is absolutely phenomenal. So it's not flimsy little legs going, I'm feminine. It's very, it matches the diameter, the actual overall aesthetics of the actual plush itself. So have to throw that out. Absolutely love it. I cannot praise this enough. Honestly, I can't. It's an absolute well-crafted plush. And the fact that they actually got another way to do it is phenomenal. So 1 star out of 10, definitely buy that online. As far as retails goes, I'm not 100% sure. Price roughly about $15, a little more, a little less, depending where you're located for shipping and whatnot. And yeah, guys, pick it up. I don't know what else to say. It is what it is. I got it online. It's worth it. Stay tuned, of course. I will be reviewing Storm the Albatross, which, I love Vector, the crocodile, but this beast is a beast. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Leave comments, of course, and feedback and whatnot. Tell me what you thought. Maybe you like, maybe you hate it. Maybe you saw something you didn't particularly like. Who knows? It's totally up to you. Remember, guys, take care, speed on, peace.